All right. So for this first one, this is a function, right? And this is the first function in this JavaScript file. This function now talks about navigation links, uh, responsiveness. You know that for some websites, they build some website for only bigger screen. You understand? Only for bigger screen. So if you open your website now, you can actually turn it to smaller screen. Hmm? Turn it to smaller screen, and for you to now, if you turn your website to smaller screen, now you now see that there's a place that they apply. There's a toggle button where when you click it, your navigation bar will slide from your left hand side so that you can navigate to any place you want to navigate to. Let me open the project and show you what I mean. Oh, okay. So this is the desktop version of your website. And this is a mobile view of your website. And notice your desktop view have your navigation links. You can navigate to any section of your website, right? But when you turn it to desktop view now, those navigation links disappear. The only thing that you are just seeing is your logo and your navigation bar. I mean to say, when you click on it, your nav links or
You show.
sidebar. Yeah, this is called sidebar. So it comes from the left hand side, right hand side. I mean left hand side. So you can actually navigate to any place you want. Navigate to any place you want. About station. Navigate back. Project. Project. Contact. Contact. Pressing it. So
Mm.
what we want to do in this JavaScript is is for us to able to for us to able to turn our this place now, so that we can able to like see it when it is on mobile view. They click on this thing like this, we're able to see it when it's on mobile view. So that's the
Mm.
essence of that function. So this function now talks about talks about menu list, right? This is there's a menu button here. Let me show you. Navigation menu. Navigation menu. Our HTML inside the nav element. Also we have our navigation div. This is a navigation div. And my nav menu, this is an ID. You know, I already told you guys about ID now. ID is what you use to identify a particular section in your HTML, so that when you want to apply it, it will be when you want to style it, it will be very easy. Or maybe you want to apply JavaScript to it, it will be very easy. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the essence of this
ID.
ID. Yeah. So in my JavaScript now, there's something we call, or like there's a way you get your HTML document or your HTML element in JavaScript. You know, in CSS we use class name, we use elements name, we use ID, we use star selector, right?
Yeah.
Now in JavaScript too, we also have similar thing too. You can get it by the class name, you can get the element by the class name, get the element by the ID, or get the element by query selector. Query selector means you are selecting all the elements, that particular element you want to style, any similar element there, you are selecting them all together. That's query selector. I will also take time to teach you guys about these selectors in JavaScript. So document gets, don't look at it o. Remember variable now. So okay, let me start from here. This is a function. This is a function keyword, right? I remember how to write function that time now. You do like this. This is your function, right? Now, this is the function keyword. Then this is the function name. Then this is the parameters.
Parameter.
We don't have parameters in this case. This is a curly bracket. This is a curly bracket, right? Now,
Yeah.
so inside the function now, we define or we created a variable. We call the variable menu btn. Then you know that this is a variable and this is the value attached to the variable, right?
Yes.
Variable that time. Let's say var, or let's say let name equal to value, right? So this is the variable name, this is the value, this is the value attached to the variable. This is the same thing too. This is the variable name, this is the value attached to the variable. And this value attached to this variable now is the element, which is this element here. This element called div. Because you are picking this element based on the ID. So you pick everything inside this element. You are picking everything inside this element. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what you are doing. So after you pick everything inside that element, you now attach it. You now store it inside this menu btn. You get?
Okay.
Then after saving it inside this menu btn, I hope you still remember if else statement, conditional statement. You still remember it, right?
And yeah, if this is true, then um um console.log should display. But if it's not true, then else which is the else now will be the one to display.
Exactly. Exactly. So this is the same thing we are doing here. So now we are saying if menu btn dot class name is equal to nav menu.
Mm-hmm.
This tell you that what is coming from here, if it actually have a class name. Remember class name now. This is a
Mm-hmm.
class name. If you have a class name
Yes.
called nav menu, right? Have a class name
Mm,
called nav menu, then
yes.
perform this operation, which is menu btn dot class name plus and equal to add responsive, which is if class name called nav menu exists, then add this responsive to it.
Responsive, that's the desktop, the mobile,
Yes,
this thing, the
yes,
mobile.
yes. You add it to it. Then if else is the case, which is otherwise or the opposite, then leave it like this.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for the first one. And for the second one now, the second one is we want to add a box shadow. We want to add a box shadow to our, if you observe very well, right? If you observe very well, you see that when it is like
Yeah.
this, everything is
Yeah.
white.
Yes.
We are talking about this header part too.
Mm-hmm.
Everything
Mm.
is white. But when I scroll down, you see that something like box shadow
Yes.
have applied to it, like
Yes. Yes.
now come out show well. Abi?
Yes.
So that's what we want to do. So now we are saying add shadow on navigation bar while scrolling. This is a function. um This is a function called window dots on scroll, or no, let me not do it this way. Let me first explain this function first. So remember I told you that when we're doing function, you can decide to define the function above the function. You can decide to call the function name, or you can decide to call the function above when it is defined, or you can decide to put it at the bottom. What I mean here is that this. Shadow, this shadow now is a function, and we already defined the function here, which is below it, below the
Okay.
function
Yes.
here.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So now inside the function now, look at what the function is doing. We're saying constant nav header equal to document dot get element by id call header. So you are saying that look at my document, to look at my HTML document, and get any element that have this particular id called header for me. Then if there's anything like that, store the value or store everything into nav header. Do you get? So what is coming from here, anything that is coming from that is called header. Look at it, nav header. This is
Yeah.
header mean,
Yes.
which is our nav element, right? So get everything for me and save it inside a variable name called nav header. You now perform a conditional operation. You now say if the document, if the body of the document, you scroll above, when you scroll up now, and the height now is greater than 50, or document element dot scroll top is greater than 50, then perform this operation.
Okay.
um else else if you no scroll it, or you just nothing happen, everything will remain the same. Yes.
Okay.
And remember, what we are doing is that we are trying to add style to our HTML using JavaScript. And what is the style? The style is box shadow. So
I want to ask a question.
what is that?
Why do we make use of if this stuff should be greater than 50? Why do we make use of like the 50 itself? Can we use like any other number in terms of, let me say, this should be greater than 50 or something?
Yes, you can use that number. Just that when you say 50 means that when you scrolling, normally it's on normal 100% now, right? But if you scroll above, or if the scroll is greater than 50, now it will now do what? The navigation that will change color to the box shadow color.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. So you perform,
So if it's something like it's less than 50, it won't change color.
do not change color, just be there. Which is this other part here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. So if you scroll up and you have passed that 50 position, you have you now add style as nav header, which is our variable. Nav header dot style dot box shadow. Then you now put the this thing to it. You add it to it.
Okay.
Then you now change the height of that navigation bar to 70 pixel. Change the line height to 70 pixel too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Else,
for the else, it was 90 pixel. Why not start 70 pixel?
why not the 70 pixel? This is
Yeah.
this is what we want to happen if the user
Yes.
scroll up. Then if the user did not scroll up, then maintain the default styling. Box shadow return to null. Line height should be normal to 90 pixel. Then
Oh,
line height should be 90 pixel too.
okay.
Yeah. So that's it for the second function. Then after writing your function here now, right? After
Mm.
writing your function here now, You now call the function at this side, this place. Remember when I say function inside function, because this is a
Mm,
function, right?
mm, mm.
This is a function, and this is the curly bracket. But we will now call the function inside another function. We will now attach that function now to window dot or scroll. This window dot or scroll is a built-in function in JavaScript, telling your browser that it's just like it's listening to your interaction with the website. If you scroll, if that scroll now happens, it will now call the function, which is if something like this happens, I scroll like this. If the window detect that I scroll, to now call this other function. Where is it? To call this function. And what is inside this function? Is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Then the other part is typewriting. Typewriting, which is what I'm saying here. I'm a developer, I am a designer, and I am a YouTuber. Right. So that typewriting now comes from. You remember when we are doing HTML, there's a class name called type test inside
Mm.
our feature bus. Class name is
Yes.
called type test. Right. Now that's what we want to use. So um variable typing effect. var typing effect equal to new type. This is a default JavaScript, what is it called? Default built-in, that's built-in function in JavaScript. This type built-in function, which is the function that comes with it.
Okay.
Yeah, comes with JavaScript. This is it. Then yeah, something I want to tell you. Oh, oh. So that typing, effect, right? That typing effect is coming from here. This is an external JavaScript link, like a website on its own. That's where I got this from, so that I can use to perform the typing effect. So after getting it here, right, in my main.js, I now do what? I now call that inbuilt function from that website inside here. Then value, the value, now save the value. Everything here is their value, right? Now save them into typing effects. I save them into typing effects. Yeah. So can you still hear me? Jesus.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Rough here. So inside this function, inside this new type function now, there's a keyword called type test. That's a class from our HTML. That's tell you that you are trying to pick a particular element with the class name. And inside the curly brackets, and that's where we have a string. The string is the text you want to be displaying on the landing page or that particular page. Then loop, you want it to keep looping, keep coming, quick, like coming back, always coming back. That's why you set it to what? True. The type speed 0.1 seconds, back speed 0.08 seconds, back delay 2 seconds. You understand? Alright. So That's for the typing effect. Low,
I want to ask a question, sorry.
what is that?
You you made mention of like we can call the function
Above.
like above a
When you
function, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah, like which is using the um callback. So and you said we can call it before a function, right? Below a function.
yes.
So to be on the safer side, what do you think should be the ideal way we can actually call a function? Is it going to be safe if you always call it
At the top
uh, at the top,
or at the bottom.
or at the bottom?
Uh, yeah, so it's always the best approach is calling it at the bottom. That's the best approach. Do you understand? Can you hear me?
I understand. I can hear you.
Yeah, so that's the best approach. Calling it.
So for this like scenario that we call it above this function now, if we still call it below the function, is it going to still give us the same result?
Yes, it will. Isn't it?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's it. So this other function is for typing loop, which is always coming back to the string you are using. And type speed 0.01, back speed 0.08, then back delay 2 seconds. So that's that for typing effect. Then for scroll review. So this review you are seeing here now, are you seeing it coming from left and right?
Yes.
Uh, so who is this again now? Yeah, so that's it. So we'll be doing that's what we'll be doing now. So scroll review reviews all the animation or make it animate, like make your website to feel lively, right? So in our
Mm,
index of HTML, there's what we call scroll review. Hmm? Scroll
mm,
review. This scroll review is this is a external website too from the internet. I just call the scroll review, then I use it in my JavaScript file,
okay.
which is this method. It's inbuilt function or inbuilt method in JavaScript. So the origin is where your elements will be coming from. If you say the origin should be left, should come from left. If you say the origin should be right, it will be from right. If you say the origin should be bottom, it will come from bottom. As you can see, all these ones now it comes from the top. Are you seeing it? See that this one comes from the top. You get? So that
Yeah.
origin is where you actually want your elements that you apply that particular function to come from. Then the distance should be 80 pixels. The duration should be 2 seconds. Reset also, reset to be true because you'll be visiting the website always, so set it to be true. If you set it to be false, now that means you just want all your energy to be wasted. So after defining what you want in the function, you now apply it to a variable name called SR. Inside the SR now, that's where the logic now begins. Inside the SR, any element at all you want to apply this particular animation to, you call the class name of you call the class name of the stuff of the HTML element. That particular element that you want this function to apply to, you call it by the class name. So the first one is feature text card, second is feature name. If you check your HTML, you will see all these class name. So just try to study it to understand. It's very easy. So all these delay are just normal delaying time, 0.01 seconds, 0.02, 0.02, 0.02, 0.03. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's that for the first one. The second one, okay, this one is for the project boss. Project body. We are still using our SR. Remember, we are still using our SR, which is the variable that we already created here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Then for the other one to left, the origin is coming from the item is coming from the left hand side. So that's why you see the origin should be what? Left. Then where you want to apply this particular function to, you apply it in our about info section, then apply it to contact info section too. Apply it to about info contact info. Then after that, um about skills and from form boss. So this one now you want to apply it to skill boss and form control. So you're not saying that the form and the skill boss, they should come from the right hand side. A distance 80 pixel, duration 2 seconds, reset true. Do you understand? Then we now apply it to we call the function, we call the class name from our HTML. Do you get?
Yeah.
So this one, okay, let me just try to explain it. So I have this stand on its own, right? Then I have another one called function. And I also have another one, this one too, right? So this particular line of code tell us that any session that have id any session that have id. Where is session? Session is in our HTML. So any session at all that have id you can see this one have id, right?
Yeah.
Then this one too have id about, right?
Almost all the session has ID.
Yes, almost all the session have id. So it's telling you that query selector all. I seen it. I seen that this query selector now is different from document dot get element by id.
Yes.
So now you are querying all the elements that have a section, and inside that section each of them have a unique id to identify them. That's it for this one. So we now call a function, or we created a function called scroll active. Function called scroll active. Inside the function now, that's where we now perform all these wicked this thing coding. So please, you have to pay attention on. So inside the function we have constant scroll y equal to windows dot scroll y. This is a variable, and this is JavaScript personnel. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's JavaScript personnel. So you now save it inside a variable name called control y. So sorry, scroll y. Are you getting it? Do you understand? Am I too fast?
Yeah. I'm trying to understand. Continue.
All right. We have now after that we now have sessions. Now pick the session now. You pick the session, but you're not picking it once, you're picking it multiple times. So you are seeing sessions, you are picking
Okay.
multiple items. Dot sessions now, dot for each must be oh 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 for each, then current. Inside the current now stand as a key. Current stand as a key.
Okay.
Current stand as a key. So inside this function, inside this, because this is another block of code entirely. This is another block of code. Are you seeing it? Apart from what is here, this
Mm.
is another block of code. So inside that block of code now, that's where we have our constant variable called session height. We will now have another variable called session top. We have another variable called session ID. Are you there?
Yeah.
Now session height is equal to current dot offsite. Hmm? Then session
Mm.
top equal to current dot offset top minus 50. So you can see where this 50 is coming from now. Then session ID equal to current dot get attribute ID. So get all the, after you don query your HTML now, get all the elements that have get all the section that have attributes called ID. Attribute that called ID. So as you are bringing all those, as you are bringing those section out now, this thing this place, so as you are bringing those section out now, um
Mm.
you are trying to you are trying to subtract 50 from it. You subtract 50 from it to get the height. Everything is section top current dot offset minus 50 to get the height. The section ID current dot get attribute. So all the section that will come outside get all their attributes. That's the meaning of that code. All the section that will come out get that element and check for its attributes. Then after that you now perform if else statement. So the if else statement now state that scroll y, which is what is coming from, where is coming from here, where is coming from here. So scroll y is greater than section top. Section top is coming from here. Then greater than or equal to section top plus section height. So you add the section top together. Remember, look at section top. Section top have 50k or be 50 something measurement. So you now add the two together, and I said if scroll y and section top, yeah, me actually chere. So do you understand this particular part?
First of all, my question here is that why do we name it school? Why?
Why would name it scroll y?
Eh.
E just normal naming, like this is normal naming, but Window dots, there's what we call built-in function in JavaScript or in window or Java, let me say JavaScript sha. Window dots, we have so many packages. Pressing it. So one of the package we want to use is scroll Y. Scroll Y. Scroll Y.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why when this scroll Y means you are scrolling horizontal like this. Scrolling horizontal. So what is actually happening here? Let me just brief you. What is actually happening here is that when they click on one of the navigation links, to take them, it will take them to that particular section that they belongs to. Then project, take them to the project section, contact, take them to contact, and and as you are taking them to contact, you are actually scrolling. You are actually scrolling, abi. You are actually doing it, but you are not doing it manually. You are
Yes.
using the navigation links to do it. That's why you see scroll dot y here. So that's it. Then you now check. So for this if else statement now, by the time you check the scroll y, which is what is coming from this one now, is this one store what is coming from here. Abi, is this scroll y now stores what is coming from our horizontal scrolling. um Then now say if it is greater than, now say if this one now is greater than session top, and our session top is current dot of setup minus 15, and scroll y again greater than or equal to session top plus session height. Are you getting the gist?
Yeah.
Then if this condition is met, if all dis condition now are met, then do document dot query selector. You now query a particular element, and the element class name is what? Dot nav, dot nav menu, which is this menu here. Dot nav menu. um So you query it, query dot nav menu, then you get, so you now added a link to it. You added a link to it. So when you click on that nav links, it will now take you, it will now add, it will lis ten to the event o. It will now add another class name to it called active link. So that's why you see that when it is on about now, color change, then this sign change. That tell you that what is active now is the about section. Are you there?
Yeah.
um Now add a class name, you add another class name to it called active link. Else document dot query selector this, then remove the active link. Then you now call the function window dot event, window dot add event lis ten er to go and, I think, window dot add event lis ten er. So whenever the scrolling take place, whenever the scrolling take place, your desktop or your mobile device will take note and apply this style to it, or this other one to it. Then after, you now call it scroll active, call it scroll active. You understand?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yes, yes.
Mhm. So that's it.
Maybe when I start that new project,
Okay.
it will help me understand better.
So I've shared this code now on the group chat, right?
Everything plus this last one.
Yes, this yes.
But you know, there was at a point you did inline
JavaScript.
JavaScript. Yes.
Yeah, yes, that. Yeah, which part?
I don't remember. I know that it was in the HTML side when you added part. I don't remember that part again. But you remember that you added inline at one part like that. Just
Yeah.
screw
This is not this one.
on click.
Yes, this is a function now. This function is coming from your JavaScript. My menu function coming from JavaScript. My menu function. Where is it? So what actually happens here was that when you click on my menu function, it will call that function at this other side. This is the function, and you are calling it here. You are calling it here. Okay. Do you understand?
Yes. But can we do in such a way that if we don't want to add this inline now, we just do it at the external side.
No, you have to do it like this way. Because you are clicking on that button. So as you click on that button is calling that function.
Yeah.
As you click on this button, it's calling this function that I just explained, which is this button here.
Yeah.
Let me show you. This is the button.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I click on this button to call this function, and you know that I've already explained what this function is doing.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
so that's it. Any other question? Eh? Hello.
You said?
I say any other question?
No, no, no question from for now. That's why I say maybe when I start doing that other project myself, or
Yes.
when I want to complete this project now,
Yes.
to add JavaScript, maybe any place I'm finding difficult
Yes.
in not understanding, I'll just maybe snap that part and send to you. Then maybe you can explain further or something.
All
But
right.
if I haven't started it yet,
Yes.
I might not know where I will have issues
All
in
right.
doing it. So maybe it's when I start doing it now, okay, I'm having issues here or something.
All right. So no problem now. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I
Thank
want to
you.
stop recording now.